Hello little buns, hello everyone. My name is Steph and welcome to my home. Today I've got a Charmander inspired makeup look for you because some time ago ColourPop did an amazing Pokemon collection and this palette is full of some amazing colors, but it's not just the eyeshadow palette that I got. I got several products and we're gonna try like 4 of them out today for this super cool Charmander inspired look. This is a more wearable fashion look. I would definitely consider this very casual, but I am a little nuts with the makeup. So, you know, wherever it lands on your scale, I hope you enjoy watching the video. I hope you enjoy learning about this look and seeing these products. ColourPop does a lot of really cool pop cultural collabs. They did like a Twilight collab recently. So it's really cool to keep an eye out and see what they're gonna do next. I honestly have no clue, but I'm gonna check it out. As always with my makeup videos, I hope you learned something today. I like to share my techniques and knowledge as a makeup artist, but also I hope you find this relaxing or enjoyable in some way. It's my goal to help you chill out, unwind, and maybe learn a couple things about beauty or inspire you to try something new. I also, throughout the video, I'm gonna ask you to vote for the next look, for the Pokemon inspired look. So this one is Charmander. There's 2 other starters from that generation, 2 other starter Pokemon, and that is Bulbasaur and Squirtle. So let me know which one you wanna see next. But without further ado, let's get started with this makeup look first. Follow along with me, let's go. First things first, let's clip this hair up out of the way. Gotta keep it tidy. I'm so excited to get to the good stuff, but we have to start with skin prep. We have to be responsible. I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Cosmetics Jelly Pop Primer today. I chose this specifically because it's red. It's kind of red, it's also kind of pink. It's got a warm color to it, and we're doing this for Charmander, so we're gonna lean into that color palette. This primer has the most delicious watermelon scent I cannot understand. It smells like watermelon Jelly Ranchers. And then as well for skin prep, I'm using a Burt's Bees Overnight Lip Balm. Just pick your favorite lip balm, whatever you're loving right now. Actually, I'm open to recommendations for lip balm. I just use this because it's what I got. It only does the trick, but if you have a favorite, let me know. I'm in the market for new lip balm. For foundation today, I'm gonna use one of my lighter shades because I want the warm colors of the eyeshadows and stuff to really stand out. So I'm gonna go for my normal cool foundation rather than going right for like, you know, originally I thought, okay, Charmander, heat, warm, let's go for a tan. I decided, you know what, nah, because then the reds are gonna blend into my skin more. Let's go pale, let's be true to skin. So e.l.f. Cosmetics Soft Glam Satin Foundation. I love this one because it's really buildable. So I just kind of squeeze out a bunch onto my cheeks, a little bit onto my chin, and I like to stipple it in. I am so excited to dive into some Pokemon nostalgia with this makeup look. When did you play your first Pokemon game? Like, what was it? What generation? What was the game? Or, you know, I guess maybe it wasn't the game. Maybe you were just a fan of the show. I don't know. You tell me. Trading card game? Like, what was your Pokemon introduction? For me, it was the original Game Boy games. There was blue and yellow. You might have had red, but I remember playing blue and yellow. And yellow was my favorite because Pikachu could follow you around. And back then, okay, in like 1999, I was like, oh my gosh, there's a Pikachu on my screen. It's so lifelike. It's not like it's 10 pixels total, but I was absolutely obsessed. I loved Pokemon Stadium for the Nintendo 64 as well. And honestly, I played them pretty religiously up until Sword and Shield. That was the last one I played. I know since then we've had like Legends Arceus and a few other really cool installations I haven't played. I really want to get back into it. For concealer, similar to the foundation, I want to go kind of pale so that the red stands out better. So I'm using a absurdly pale shade on myself. This is e.l.f.'s Hydrating Camo Concealer in an the shade's actually here, Fair Rose. This is probably their lightest shade. It might not be their, but like, obviously that's not my color. But I'm gonna see how this looks. And my hope is that it's gonna kind of work. If it doesn't, we can blend it with something, but my hope is that we'll get kind of a lighter canvas around the eye for that incredibly colorful eyeshadow to stand out even more. Let's see how it goes. I'll say I'm pretty impressed with the coverage of this. I expected it to blend down more. She's staying pretty strong in terms of color. And I'll just go back to the foundation brush to kind of blend that in a little bit. Now, if you're more a fan of the newer Pokemon games, what is your favorite? Like, did you play the Legends Arceus one where you go back in time? And if so, what did you think? Like, let me know. Because like I said, my last one was Sword and Shield. And I loved them, to be honest. But I'd be really curious. What's your fave? Now, before I powder my face, I'm like debating between 2 different blushes. Number 1 is an e.l.f. Cosmetics orange blush. This is the Camo Liquid Blush. And obviously the shade is incredible. This is the shade Bronze Bombshell. It's just straight orange. It's extremely pigmented and it is stunning. Now I'm not sure how that's gonna go with the orange eyes, so I'm also considering one of the Pokemon products from ColourPop for the blush today. This is one of the instant cream blushes from the collection, and the shade is called Metronome after Clefairy, of course, in her psychic abilities. Let's pop open the package and see what the color's like. Wow, I wanna keep these boxes in good condition because this stuff is so cute. Okay, here we are, Metronome Instant Cream Blush. What kind of color do we have here? Oh my gosh, that's so cute, that's so pretty. Oh, look at all those pink Pokemon, I love them. This is really pretty. Oh, does it make sense? Does it make sense to go with a pink blush here? I'm gonna say it makes sense to go for the pink blush, the Metronome Clefairy blush, because if we have too much of the same color going on, it's all gonna blend together. It's not gonna stand out, right? And I just went for this really pale base so that it would stand out. So let me just get a little bit on the brush. Ooh. This is definitely really lightweight. It might be a fingers blush. Let me just try that. Yeah, this is the kind of blush, kind of cream blush that you tap on with your finger if you want the color payoff. As you can see, it's quite sheer, but buildable, which is, I'm into that lately. Okay, really pretty, super lightweight, super sheer. I'm glad I'm wearing a paler base and we're going into the fall season where this will really show up on my skin, because if I was more tan, I don't know if I'd get much out of this. Either way, it's an adorable product and I love it. So that's going back in the box to be kept nice and safe. When y'all get gorgeous limited edition makeup like this, do you keep the packaging? I used to not. I used to throw the packaging away and then I'd throw the little beautiful blush container into a makeup bag full of other stuff to get like absolutely beat up. But I've changed my approach. I like keeping it nice. I'm trying something new lately with my contour and my sculpting. I have been doing a ton of cream contour and sculpting, but lately I just got inspired to try doing more powder contour. So we're gonna try that today, and I'm gonna powder my face next in order to facilitate the powder contour because it's gotta go on a dry base. This is the same powder I've used for the last few videos that I'm not a super fan of, just because it feels really talky, but it's what I have and I'm gonna use it till it's gone. So I'm just gonna press that into the under eye area, and we're gonna be contouring the nose with powder too. Quite some time since I've contoured with powder, so let's give it a try, let's see how it goes. For my sculpting kit today, I'm using an e.l.f. Cosmetics product. This is simply one of their contour palettes in the shade Light Medium, and I'm gonna go right into the deepest contour shade down here at the bottom on a kind of domed sculpting brush. I like these for powder contour because I can be really precise with my placement. So let's give it a try. I'm gonna brush up against the cheekbone, go along the jawline as well. I'm noticing this is a little more challenging to blend than a cream. I guess that's the advantage from a cream, right? That is a streaky neck. Let's just go in with a buffing brush. Now I'm a little bit scared to try this nose contour technique, but I'm using the same dark shade on actually a flat eyeshadow brush. So we're gonna try to be really precise with our placement. And I'm gonna try to really sculpt out my nose like this. Let's go down the side. Trust the process. Trying to blend it out now with a domed blending brush. Does that look kind of crazy? Maybe just a bit. I'm gonna go into this skin tone shade in the top right here now and apply that along the sides of it to taper the contour in. If you watched my makeup for Trans Women 101 video that I just released the other day, you might recognize what I'm doing. I'm trying to keep the shadow narrow so that it looks like the shadow of a narrow nose, basically, by tapering it in with some of that skin tone powder. One last little contouring trick I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my highlight color and I'm gonna line it up with the lower lash line and bring it up my temple kind of, and then brush it downward onto my cheekbone. This is gonna help that contour blend a little bit softer. It's pretty intense. I don't know if I mind that necessarily. I'm just gonna go over all of that with a kind of a fluffy blending brush and soften the lines. Same with the nose. I'm still not 100% sure if my nose contour looks wild, but we're gonna run with it because we're trying new things. Now we're about to get into like the most fun part, but first, drink break. What are y'all sipping on right now? I am drinking a raspberry peace tea out of my little cozy here. It keeps it nice and chill. I like to use a straw. I like using the metal reusable straws because they get nice and cold from the drink, and then it's just like a refreshing experience the whole way through. What are you sipping on while you watch Stef Sanjati do her makeup? Let me know. Now getting into the eyes, you know, based on the title and the thumbnail, you gotta know this makeup look is inspired by the one and only Charmander. Look at this adorable 3D print that my boyfriend made for me, y'all. I need to tell you, I am so damn lucky. I had no idea he was printing this. I received the ColourPop Pokemon collection quite a while ago now, and it's kind of been sitting on my shelf collecting dust. And after the last YouTube video I posted, he was feeling, I don't know, some type of way. It was really nice. And he wanted to support, and so he printed out not just Charmander, but Squirtle and the adorable little Bulbasaur, all 3 of the original starters, to help inspire me towards a Pokemon makeup look. So let's all just cry together for a second. I told him Charmander was my favorite, and that's because of the way he's introduced in the Pokemon show. I also just always loved fire and the connotations of fire growing up. So Charmander was usually my starter of choice in the original games, and I love him. He's just such a sweet pea. He's so fierce and loyal. All that said, what we're going to be using to achieve a Charmander look today is the ColourPop Pokemon collection. So they have the Palette Town Makeup Palette. This is all eyeshadows of all sorts of different kind of color themes, but we're going to be sticking towards these warmer shades today. And then I also got one of their Supershock shadows in this Charmander themed color. The shade is Flamethrower, of course named after one of his moves. So I'm definitely going to use the palette, but I feel like I should also use this Supershock shadow because it feels like a bit of a star product because it's just a single shadow. And I don't think this shade is in the palette itself. So let's take a look at the shadow before we decide how we're going to proceed. Oh, that's so cute. Gorgeous little package. Okay. Ooh. That's really pretty. Let's try it on the back of my hand. Oh, that's so pretty. It's really sheer, but also in a way very buildable, and it's a pretty color. You know what? This might be, we're gonna use the Supershock shadow and Flamethrower before we start our eyes. We're gonna use this as a cheek highlight. So it's just on my finger. I'm gonna get it right on that highlight area. As you can see, there's a slight orangey kind of hue to it, but it's also got this like gorgeous pink iridescence. I really like this. We're gonna use this to create shine throughout our features. I'm glad I looked at this before I dove into the palette, because this would be gorgeous as kind of like a sheer wash of color. Of course, we're going for something quite a bit more dramatic today, but if I just wanted a sheer wash of warm color across my lids, this would be a great choice. However, I'm loving this as a highlighter. Before we swap to the eyes, because we're here, I'm just gonna do my nose highlight as well. So I'm getting that Supershock shadow on one of my narrow face brushes here. This is actually a paintbrush. I'm just gonna run that down the bridge of my nose and then a little bit on the tip. I think that's quite pretty. And I'll do my usual Cupid's bow, chin and temples. Well, that is very exciting. I'm gonna put her back in the box to keep her safe. Now, I do need to tell you, there is, of course, a Squirtle and a Bulbasaur version. So you know we're gonna be doing a Squirtle and a Bulbasaur version as well. And I'm gonna need you in the comments. I probably said this in the intro, but again, just as a reminder, if you have not yet voted for whether you want Squirtle or Bulbasaur next, now is your time. Tell me, which one do you wanna see next? Bulbasaur or Squirtle inspired makeup for round 2. Now let's check this palette out. I am so excited to crack into this because the selection of shadows looks amazing. This is satisfying so many childhood wishes right now. Check that out. Look at these colors. Look at that red. Oh my goodness, that is so beautiful. We're gonna use the heck out of these colors. Now, I'm definitely gonna stick more to kind of these orangey, red, golds area, probably these 4, honestly, maybe even just these 3, but we're gonna see where we go. Before we actually put any eyeshadow on our face, we do need to prime our lids. I'm gonna use my Ride or Die eyelid primer, the e.l.f. Cosmetics Lock It Down. I love this thing. I use it every time. It never lets me down. I'm gonna try to go for something that sort of resembles Charmander's tail flame, which almost looks like a candle flame. So it's that kind of bowed, pointed shape. To be fair, I go for that shape pretty much all the time anyway, but because we're going for that shape, I'm gonna also apply some of the primer under my eye area because we're gonna be applying a lot of eyeshadow down there too, and I want it to be nice and true to color and blend well. Now we have a choice to make, my friends. The choice is whether we concentrate the darkest colors towards the lash line or the lightest colors and go for dark in the crease. And if we look at Charmander's tail, which you can see right here, it is like yellow on the front, red on the back. It's a bit too simple of like a color transition for me. So let's go for red right on the lash. Let's do it. Let's do it. You gotta start somewhere. Let's make a choice. Either way, I'm going to go into the red shade. This is called I Choose You. I'm gonna try to preserve that Pokeball engraving, if you will, because this is the only color in the entire palette with that detail, and that's so pretty. And we're gonna place this right up against the lashes. That is a beautiful red. Oh my God. I think I have a new favorite eyeshadow. I'm gonna lose my marbles. Let's pull it out pretty far. So rather than going the full normal length of a wing, I'm gonna bring that red out pretty far here. And I'm gonna connect it back to the red at the lash line with kind of a straight line if my eyes are down. This is gonna help us create the silhouette I'm gonna go for. Next, let's go into the beautiful shimmery orange here. This is called Vermilion City. This is definitely not the same kind of vibe, but do y'all remember Lavender Town? Does anybody still have nightmares about Lavender Town? Am I alone? That place was messed up. With Vermilion City, I'm applying it all the way along above the red I Choose You eyeshadow. But on the eyelid itself, I'm applying it on top. It's gonna mix with that red, blend with it, and blend it down, but it's gonna give it some depth. And something that's striking me actually is these eyeshadows, I was a little worried because they almost feel a little sheer, but something unique about them that I'm noticing is they blend so nicely. And I'm dipping back into I Choose You and re-intensifying that towards the back here. And you know what? While we're here, let's bring I Choose You below the eye as well. I'm gonna run it along the lower lash line. So far, I'm loving how this eyeshadow is going on. We're gonna blend it out with a yellow, but in order to facilitate that, I'm going around the outside of this entire eyeshadow placement with a skin tone eyeshadow. I always use the same skin tone eyeshadow. This is the cream eyeshadow from e.l.f. Cosmetics New Classics palette. As you can see, I've hit absolute pan on it. I use it every single day. Anytime I'm doing a colorful eyeshadow look, I'm dipping into this to help blend it out. Place that all around. And now back to palette down, I'm gonna go into up here, Saffron City, which is just a straight up like daisy yellow. It's so pretty. Let's see how this blends with the orange. I'm using kind of a flat, stubby eyeshadow applicator, and my plan is to apply it like sideways like this. Oh yeah. At least for the placement. And let's go underneath here too. And now that the yellow is on, I'm gonna use a domed blending brush to kind of smudge it together. Adding some Vermilion City, the orange, to the bottom as well. I'm really getting the flame blend I want right back here. I feel like that's really nailing it. Let's try to keep achieving that everywhere. So let me know in the comments if Charmander or any of his evolutions are not your favorite fire type Pokemon. Who is? Are you a Growlithe person? Are you a Ponyta person? Rapidash? Listen, Rapidash is such a stunner, such a diva. I love Rapidash. I also, is it Magmar? That kind of strange looking guy with the balls on his head. I don't know how I feel about that guy. What do you think? Let me know. Oh, and you know what? I know that this is a shared experience and I'm not the only one because I remember reading about this online. I think it was Tumblr, to be fair, so maybe I should just not share this information. But back in like early 2000s days, if y'all remember the Pokemon movie with Entei, pretty sure he was a fire type. Who else had a crush on that Pokemon? It's weird, right? It's weird. For some reason, I was just like, wow. Just, I don't know, man. I was like 7 years old. Who knows anything? And I'm just going to keep on working on softening that blend as it goes out. I'm not sure if you are seeing what I'm seeing, but the thing that's standing out to me the most about these eyeshadows in this palette, like I said earlier, is their blending potential is insane. They just melt into the skin with a little bit of blending from a brush. I have fought eyeshadows so much more than this. It's being so cooperative. I so appreciate it. And I'm going back into Saffron City and adding a little bit more of that yellow. Kind of obsessed with where this is at so far. I'm gonna go back to the Supershock shadow and apply some of that along the brow bone as my highlight. I like the way this is blending. This is definitely giving like an 80s rock star kind of silhouette, which you know what? I think that works for Charmander. He's got such an attitude, spunky little thing, sunky little lizard. So I think that the placement of the shadows here with a bit of an 80s inspo. I think it's working. Now that I'm pretty sure at least eyeshadow is finished, I'm gonna give my eyes a break before I go back for things like eyeliner. We're gonna do our brows. I actually dug this brow pencil up from the bottom of my brow jar. I have an entire jar of brow products, and sometimes I forget about some of my favorites and I just start, you know, habitually using something else. This one is an NYX eyebrow pencil. It's the micro brow pencil, and I love it because of the super fine, precise line work you can do with it. You can kind of draw natural looking hairs because it twists up so small. And then it's got a really nice thin spoolie on the bottom, so if you get a little intense with the application, you can blend it out pretty easily. And this is the shade Ash Brown. I'm definitely in the ashy category of my hair color right now. I'm gonna place the tail of my eyebrow just a little bit higher than I normally do to leave lots of space for that eyeshadow to stand out with its wide blend. Now going back to the eyes, I'm gonna use a liquid eyeliner pen. This is the Il Makiage Black Card Waterproof Eyeliner. Pretty standard eyeliner pen. And I'm gonna try really hard to keep this eyeliner really thin because I want the beautiful blended eyeshadow to stand out. I want that to be the star of the show. Hold your breath for me. I think I managed it on that side. Let's try again. Doing the tiniest little wing. I'm gonna do my usual cat eye, but just like the top, I'm gonna keep this as thin as possible. That's great. I just really want that red shadow to stand out. I love red eyeshadow. It's really hard to find because the pigment that is used for red coloring in things like cosmetics, like lipsticks, for example, is really actually usually not safe for the eye area. So for a brand to go and get and develop eye safe red shadows is less common. It's just harder. I'm just going back into the red because I noticed as I was applying my eyeliner, I wanted a little bit more red below the eye. I felt like it was a little too blended out in orange down there, especially right here. But I think I've got the silhouette where I want it. With that eyeliner done nice and thin, I'm gonna curl my lashes. Y'all, here's something. I need a new eyelash curler desperately. I've had this Revlon one for I don't know how long. It's not bad. It does the trick, but I've had it for like probably 6 years. And I just keep on sanitizing it and using it. And I feel like there's probably been like new eyeshadow curler technology. You know, I'm wondering what brands are doing there. So if you have a eyeshadow curler recommendation, I am really curious. For mascara, I'm using the e.l.f. Cosmetics Lash and Roll because of the really precise brush. And I want my eyelashes to be really defined, not necessarily super enormous. I'm gonna apply some false lashes, but I want them to be nice and defined. And I really want to avoid smudging any mascara onto the shadow work because it's so pretty and so blended. I don't want to interfere with it. For lashes today, I'm doing a pretty chill shape here. Just a little bit of extra density here and there, but I chose the kind of clumpy lash silhouette because I wanted to throw to the sort of illustrative anime line work energy that Pokemon art has, especially the characters. Their lashes are usually just like a line, like a big chunky line. So I didn't want to go for something super, I guess like hair textured. I wanted it to be kind of clumpy. While I wait for this lash glue to get tacky for my eye area, like I said, I'm going to choose between Squirtle and Bulbasaur for the next look. We're going to do something completely different for them. It'll still be like a wearable fashion kind of look, but I'm going to go for different silhouettes and different techniques and things. However, outside of Squirtle and Bulbasaur, who I still want you to vote for in the comments, let me know what other Pokemon you'd like to see me do a look inspired by. There's a specific one, maybe y'all can help me with the name of this Pokemon. He's like a fetus. He's a dreaming fetus. He's a psychic type Pokemon. He floats. I don't remember the name of it, but it's literally a fetus. If you can tell me what it is, Musharna. Is it Musharna? How did that come to me? It's the psychic Pokemon sending me psychic signals to remember his psychic name. Musharna. Get out of my head, man. The other thing I'm thinking about is, if you're not already aware, I do twice weekly takeovers on Twitch for the e.l.f. Cosmetics Twitch channel. That's twitch.tv/elfu. That's in addition, of course, to my regular streams that I do by myself and with my boyfriend Travis. We co-host if we're playing multiplayer over at twitch.tv/Stef Sanjati. Please come join us on Twitch. It's a riot. And I'd love to have you. We're having so much fun growing that community right now. For my e.l.f. shows, those are on Mondays and Wednesdays. I will often do a video game inspired look, and one I did recently recently was inspired by Dead by Daylight. If any of you play Dead by Daylight, it is a very popular game with the girls and the gays and the theys. I don't know why. I think it's probably the same reason that we tend to be obsessed or interested in like horror. Either way, I did a look inspired by the artist. It was really cool. And I'm considering doing a series on Dead by Daylight killers for October. Let me know what you think of that. I could do like a Tiffany, I could do an artist, I could do, ooh, who else is there? I could do a bunch. And with lashes on, we basically just have one thing left to do, which is lips. Part of the ColourPop Pokemon collection included this amazing glossy lip trio. Look at this with the evolutions. Can you believe it? We've got kind of a yellow electric one, a red fire one, and a blue water one. Of course, we're going to use the red fire one. It's literally, they're called Thunderstone, Firestone, and Waterstone after the items you use to evolve the Eevees. Oh, these are so cool. I love them. So let's take a look at the fire one today. I'm not just, oh, that's a much bigger tube than I thought. Wow, this is so cute. Check that out. Oh, so adorable. I'm not just gonna go right in with the lip gloss because I wanna be able to see the color of the gloss and because I want the eyes to stand out really strong as a focal point. So I'm gonna actually kind of nude out my lips. This is one of e.l.f. Cosmetics Pout Clout Lip Plumping Pens. I'm choosing it today just because it's quite a nude. And I want to tone down my lip color. Now that the lips are kind of a blank canvas, let's go in with Firestone and see what happens. I have a feeling it's going to be quite a sheer lip gloss, like quite a colorless gloss, but with that gorgeous like fiery red shimmer. I'm going to apply it pretty heavy to get a good idea of the oh, it smells and tastes so good. Oh my God. I'm pretty pleased. To set the whole face, I'm going to go in with a setting spray. I'm going to use my Urban Decay All-Nighter Spray today, just because this is quite a bit of eye makeup and I want it to stay real nice for all of my evening activities. And by evening activities, of course, I mean logging onto World of Warcraft and doing a bunch of PvP and probably getting my ass kicked, but who cares? Let's take our hair down and take a look. C'est voila, one Charmander inspired makeup look using the ColourPop Pokemon collection. Let me know what you think. I've enjoyed this more wearable approach to the look today. I hope you learned some techniques. Let me know if you have any questions. And most of all, I hope you just enjoyed our time together and you found this relaxing or inspiring or whatever it might be. I just hope you enjoyed it. I really do. Don't forget to let me know if you would like to see Squirtle or Bulbasaur next. I will be choosing based on who gets the most mentions in the comments. So if you're feeling hella Squirtle, give me Squirtle, comment it twice, I don't care. If you're feeling hella Bulbasaur, go full Bulbasaur, okay? Let me know. I can't wait to see who wins. And then I would also love for you to join me in my Twitch channel. That's twitch.tv/Stef Sanjati. I am streaming at least 3 times a week. And if I'm playing anything multiplayer, I'm always co-hosting with my boyfriend Travis, who is the one that printed these gorgeous little Pokemon guys. They're so cute. As a trio, I'm obsessed. They're gonna sit together on the shelf behind me for like ever. Forever. They're going to be back there. We also have a Discord community you can join if you're interested in a little more of an intimate community setting. We've got different kinds of threads in there for different interests. There's a beauty and fashion one if you're interested in this kind of stuff, but there's also different, gaming discussions. And if you do play World of Warcraft and you want to join my guild, that's in there too. All that said, I really appreciate your company today. If you enjoyed the vibe at any moment, please subscribe for more. I'll be posting at least once a week moving forward, and I'm very excited to be hitting that goal. Until next time, just remember, you can rock a colorful eyeshadow look if you want to. If you haven't tried it before, but you've always wanted to, just go for it. Find some inspiration, whether that's your favorite, just your favorite color, your favorite Pokemon, whatever it is, try it out. Even if you don't wear it out of the house, put it on before your nighttime shower, just so you can see what it's like on your face, get some practice, and then you can rinse it off and wash it off and it's no big deal. Just take the time to try. It's always worth it to try new things. Thank you so much for watching. I hope I see you in the comment section in next week's video, but until then, have a great week and thank you very much.